On the 11th day of Christmas, the Armsman sent to me. Frigga or Frigg. Now you're wondering who Frigga or Frigg is. What Frigga or Frigg isn't is the Animal Crossing character. No, we're not talking about this little penguin thing here. No. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Norse goddess Frigga, or Frigg, depending on pronunciation, who is the wife of Odin. And from her, we have the tradition of kissing under the mistletoe, because after her son Balder's death, she wept and her tears became the white berries on the mistletoe bush. So we have that tradition thanks to her. So that's why I decided to put her on a Christmas list, because one of the biggest traditions across much of Europe and America is kissing under the mistletoe. I'm not sure about Asia or Africa or Russia, those kind of countries. If someone from those kind of areas is watching and would like to tell me, do you have kissing under the mistletoe in Russia, certain African countries? Just tell me. That'd be great. So what do we know about Frigga from original depictions? Now these aren't as traditional as I could go. Obviously we are talking about a tradition that goes back over 1,000 years, so it's difficult to find some representations, but here we are. Well, what we can see of her is she's a mother goddess, and because she's a mother goddess, she very clearly has what I'd call a traditional buxom build. Buxom means a woman with a large chest, large hips, not as extreme as, say, Jessica Rabbit, so we're not going that far. That's far more cartoony buxom. But she has what I'd more define as a natural buxom. And that is actually really important when arming someone, because those kind of centres of weight and distribution can give quite good balance if used appropriately. What else does she have? She has very strong arms. We can see that because she has very big arms. She does a lot of her time weaving, and she uses her arms a lot in very high stamina, high strength endeavours. What else? She's a Viking woman, and that is a huge thing. Going back to my video on who makes a better warrior, men or women, I still always say women make better warriors, men make better soldiers. And that's really important with this one, because we are talking about one-on-one combat. We are talking about a woman fighting against monsters. In most Norse stories, we're talking about that kind of thing. And Viking women especially were at least as strong, if not stronger, than their men. And it was very important that they stay home so they could defend the home. The women were like the standing army, because the men were going out raiding and hunting and collecting, and those were the easy jobs. The difficult and important jobs were to stay at home, raise the children, and protect the household. Because there's even a whole thing, I might even go into Norse beliefs, there's a whole thing there that women were better at maths because they had magic. That's absolutely fantastic. I love that that is such a subversion of some of the very sexist beliefs that are held nowadays, that women can't do maths, which is stupid. Everyone can do maths. It's numbers. Of course, then you get people with dyscalculia, so I'm very sorry to anyone with dyscalculia. I have to say that so the Baroness doesn't hit me. Last thing, before we actually say what weapon she will be equipped with. She always braids her hair. Now, I don't usually have hair or things like that in my videos because hair is controllable. I mean, I put my hair in a ponytail from time to time, as you've seen. I can braid my hair. Anyone can braid long hair. So hair isn't really an issue. But the fact that she has her hair braided, or in almost all depictions, to me denotes that she prefers it that way. And if she prefers it that way, she's more comfortable with that, so she is ready for those fights that she might be going into. And I think that's really important to note. Now, because of that, I do have a couple of weapons for her. I have two sorts of weapons for her, and they're kind of the same weapon, but I think they're absolutely perfect for her build and her personality. Primarily, I would give her a Norse leaf spear. And the important thing about a Norse leaf spear is, although it is good for, obviously, spearing, it's also good for throwing like a javelin. And those kind of arms and the kind of shoulder muscles and back muscles she would have, and the kind of counterweight that she would have due to her build, I think she'd be able to get that really far, not take any recoil from throwing it. I think she'd be able to hit a target quite nicely with what is traditionally a very inaccurate weapon. The other one, though, and the last one I would personally give her, is the shield and spear. Again, it works with obviously having the leaf spear there, but having that big shield as well gives that defence, and I think she'd be able to lift them quite nicely. She'd be really good, not in a phalanx, but as a solo shield and spear fighter. She could use her shield to shield bash, open, thrust. So, I absolutely think that Frigg's build would denote her as being a shield and spear fighter, as well as a javelineer. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you rather enjoyed me talking about these, and I hope you join me tomorrow for the last day of the 12 days of Armsas 5 and 2 and 4 and other numbers. Let's just do 6 and 6, okay? That works. So, the 12 days of Armsas conclude tomorrow. I hope you come back. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and I will see you on Christmas Eve for the last of this series of videos. Thank you very much. Now get out of my house. Bye.